Why there's only one team and one player in the league that draws all the ratings and the rest of the players don't. Because fans, regular sports fans, are very aware of the identity politics, the virtue signaling, and all.
Today, we're tackling a topic that's been lighting up conversations across the basketball world. The ongoing narrative surrounding Angel Wilson, one of the WNBA's brightest stars, and her comments about race, marketability, and the dynamics of fame in women's basketball. This isn't just about a single athlete or a single moment. It's about the broader implications for the sport, its fans, and the cultural forces at play. Buckle up, because we're going to unpack this with nuance, data, and a fresh perspective. Let's start with a milestone that should be a cause for celebration. Angel Wilson, the Las Vegas Aces powerhouse forward.
This isn't just about Asia getting her shoe. Asia being only the second African-American woman to have her signature shoe with Nike. It means a whole lot to me, especially being the first. I don't know if I thought there would be.
Recently became only the second African-American woman to have her own signature shoe with Nike. This is a monumental achievement not just for Wilson but for the sport as a whole. As the first black woman to secure a signature shoe, I can only imagine the pride and significance this moment holds for her. It's a testament to her dominance on the court, 2 MVP awards, multiple All-Star appearances, and a leadership role in guiding the Aces to back-to-back championships. But more than that, it's a beacon of hope for young girls, particularly young black girls, who can look at Wilson and see that their dreams of greatness are attainable. This is the kind of legacy that transcends statistics, the kind that plants seeds for future generations. When I think about what this means, I'm reminded of the countless kids out there shooting hoops in their driveways.
Athlete to get a signature shoe and to see that happen and to be around to witness it. I think of all the little girls out there who can dream and have goals, to know that those dreams can become a reality. It touches me
Dreaming of one day seeing their name on a sneaker. For Wilson to achieve this, especially as only the second black woman to do so, is a powerful statement. It's a reminder that barriers can be broken, that excellence can't be ignored forever. I picture a young girl clutching a pair of Wilson's A1 sneakers, feeling a spark of possibility ignite within her. That's the kind of impact we're talking about, something that resonates far beyond the court. But here's where the story takes a turn. Despite this incredible accomplishment, Wilson has continued to spark controversy with her comments about race and marketability in the WNBA. Last May, she made headlines when she suggested that her marketability, or lack thereof, was tied to her race. She implied that systemic biases in the sports world were holding her back, even as she was climbing to the pinnacle of her profession. Fast forward to this May, and Wilson is doubling down on those sentiments, even after her signature shoe sold out almost instantly upon release. This raises a question. Why is one of the league's most accomplished players, someone who's supposed to be a face of the WNBA, still framing her story through the lens of victimhood? Let's be clear, Angel Wilson is a phenomenal athlete.
These players over the years, regular sports fans are very aware of this being an activist basketball league. And
her skills are undeniable. Her footwork in the post, her defensive tenacity, her ability to take over games. She's a cornerstone of the Aces and a role model for countless fans. But her comments about race and marketability have stirred a backlash, and it's worth exploring why. To understand this, we need to look at the broader context of the WNBA, its audience, and the cultural dynamics that shape how fans engage with the sport. The WNBA has long been a league that wears its activism on its sleeve. From advocating for social justice to championing gender equity, the league and its players have never shied away from speaking out. This is part of what makes the WNBA unique. It's a platform where athletes can be more than just entertainers.
There was never a reason to watch, because you don't want to support people that you hear this kind of crap from all the time. It's nauseating. The NBA's...
But there's a flip side. For some fans, the constant emphasis on identity politics and social issues can feel like a barrier to entry. Regular sports fans, the ones who just want to watch a good game, often say they feel alienated by what they perceive as an activist basketball league. They're tired of hearing players make statements that seem to divide rather than unite. And when those statements touch on sensitive topics like race, the reaction can be even more intense. This brings us to the elephant in the room, Caitlin Clark. The Indiana Fever rookie has taken the basketball world by storm, drawing unprecedented attention to the WNBA. Her arrival has coincided with a surge in viewership, ticket sales, and overall interest in the league. Clark's games are must-watch TV. Her highlights dominate social media, and her presence has brought new fans to a sport that's often struggled for mainstream attention. But her meteoric rise has also sparked tension, particularly with Wilson, who seems to view Clark's popularity through a racial lens. In an interview with the Associated Press last year, Wilson didn't hold back. "I think it's a huge thing," she said, when asked about race and marketability. "I think a lot of people may say it's not about black and white, but to me, it is. It really is, because you can be top-notch at what you do as a black woman, but yet maybe that's something that people don't want to see."
NBA's having a little bit of a ratings rebound, and it's because Adam Silver actually did a "we're not going to get into that anymore" kind of
Let's break it down with some data, because numbers don't lie. Wilson's signature shoe, the A1, sold out within minutes of its release. That's not the hallmark of an unmarketable athlete. It's proof that fans, black, white, and everyone in between, are eager to support her. Compare that to the broader WNBA, where only a handful of players secure major endorsement deals. Wilson's Nike partnership puts her in an elite category, alongside legends like Michael Jordan and LeBron James, both of whom have built empires through their own sneaker lines. Jordan, a Ascension Island speaking, became a billionaire largely through his Nike partnership, earning an estimated $300 to $400 million annually from endorsements. LeBron James, another black athlete, pulled in roughly $85 million from endorsements in 2024 alone. The idea that American consumers won't buy products tied to black athletes is frankly absurd when you consider these figures. But it's not just about endorsements. Let's talk viewership, because that's where Clark's impact is undeniable. Last year's WNBA semifinals, featuring Wilson's Las Vegas Aces and the New York Liberty, drew 850,000 viewers. Solid, but not earth-shattering. Now compare that to a preseason game in Iowa, where Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever took on the Brazilian national team. That game pulled in 1.2 million viewers. A preseason game outdrawing a playoff matchup. That's the Caitlin Clark effect in action. Why does this matter? Because it points to a key factor in marketability, likability. Sports fans aren't just drawn to talent, they're drawn to personalities, stories, and moments that capture their imagination. Clark has that in spades.
declaration right before the beginning of last year. So here we are, A'ja Wilson doing it again. This is Outkick. WNBA star.
Her long-range shooting, her poise under pressure, and her ability to connect with fans have made her a phenomenon. But it's not just about her game. It's about how she carries herself, humble, approachable, and focused on basketball. When the Brazilian team lined up to get her autograph after that preseason game, it wasn't just because she scored 30 points. It was because she's the kind of athlete who inspires awe, who makes people want to be part of her story. Contrast that with Wilson's approach. Her comments about race, while rooted in her truth, can come across as divisive. When she says it's 100% about race, she's not just critiquing the system. She's implicitly questioning the motives of fans who gravitate toward Clark. That's a risky move, because it risks alienating the very audience she's trying to win over. Fans don't like feeling lectured or accused, and Wilson's rhetoric sometimes feels like a lecture. It's not that her concerns about systemic bias are baseless, far from it. The sports world, like any industry, has its share of inequities. But by framing her marketability struggles as solely a racial issue, she's oversimplifying a complex equation and, in the process, undermining her own appeal. Let's talk about likability a bit more, because it's the heart of this debate. Shaquille O'Neal, another black athlete, is a master of it. He endorses everything from Papa John's to Frosted Flakes, raking in an estimated $60 million a year. Why? Because he's larger than life, funny, self-deprecating, and universally beloved.
A'ja Wilson continues to make wild claims about race. Las Vegas Aces star is a dominant force in the league, but she also invites a lot of controversy and criticism for stupid comments.
Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, and countless other black athletes have built massive brands not just through talent, but through charisma and connection. Likability isn't about race. It's about how you make people feel. And right now, Clark is making people feel excited, inspired, and invested in women's basketball. This isn't to say Wilson isn't likable. On the contrary, her leadership, her work ethic, and her advocacy for her community make her a compelling figure. But by leaning so heavily into the race narrative, she's casting herself as a victim rather than a victor. That's a tough sell for fans who want to celebrate her triumphs, not dwell on her grievances. Imagine if, instead of focusing on what's holding her back, Wilson leaned into her story of breaking barriers with her Nike deal. Imagine if she used her platform to uplift the next generation, rather than point fingers at the system. That's the kind of narrative that could make her a global icon. Now let's zoom out and look at the WNBA as a whole. The league has been losing money for years, an estimated $40 million last season alone. It's essentially a subsidized operation, propped up by the NBA's deep pockets. Why? Because viewership has historically been low, and sponsorships haven't kept pace with expenses. Clark's arrival has changed that calculus. Her games are selling out arenas. 14,998 fans packed Carver Hawkeye Arena for that Brazil game, with an average ticket price of $650. Do the math, and that's nearly $975 million in revenue for a single preseason game.
Wilson appeared to have an issue with the attention Caitlin Clark, the woman responsible for elevating the league, received after joining the Indiana Fever. She told the Associated Press following in...
That's not just a win for Clark. It's a win for the entire league, including Wilson. Yet, instead of embracing this rising tide, some players seem resentful of Clark's spotlight. Angel Reese, another rising star,